Sunday rolls around. Lions and Bucs. I'm seeing 6. This could end up at 7.
People, get ready for what I like to call hubris. Here it comes.
Well, hold on.
Open wide.
Am I not allowed to be optimistic? Am I not allowed to look at my team and say I got the better team? I went down to Tampa and won by 2 touchdowns earlier in the season. I'm not allowed to look at this and say we got a ticket booked for the NFC title game?
My man, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. I would just caution you from getting cocky in the playoffs. So this idea of, oh my God, we got a free square, Bucs are trash. Okay, please be very careful. You've just tasted, finally, your first paycheck in 30 years. You're not going to go to Jacob the jeweler and get iced out. Don't be that guy.
No.
Be careful doing this.
But is there a freedom that now you play with where you go, okay, the history's kind of off your back, and you are the better team, and you are playing this game at home, and unlike the first meeting, you have both your running backs and a healthy offensive line. Like, here's the other thing, is as much as we just got done talking about Goff and some of the issues that I've had with him,
yes,
one of the best games he played this year, at least to me, was the game down in Tampa. You remember in that game, they had no run game, and that is a Bulls defense that's going to blitz.
Well, there's
and I thought he did a really nice job on the road in that game, being their run game, not with his feet, but the short passing game and getting the ball out quick. I was impressed with how he faced them last time without a healthy O-line in a run game. Now he's got it, and he's playing at Ford Field. Like, Mike, I feel really good about the Lions. Maybe there is a seduction here that I'm getting.
Oh, this is a straw man argument, and I have to call you out. We're talking 2 different things, James. You're talking about winning the game. I'm talking about betting.
Blowouts?
No, I'm just talking about be careful. You bet with your heart last week and violated everything we talked about. I am begging you not to do it again. You have every right to feel like you're going to win the game. I think you're winning the game. But when you start to do this Hulk Hogan routine, listen here, brother. Hey,
Let me tell you about the Detroit Lions.
Oh, we're just laying touchdowns. No disrespect. You know, you're talking like a Chiefs fan. And that's not, come on, dude.
The early line movement. Detroit, 67% of the bets, 91% of the money. Very, very public.
Right. So automatically, you know what I'm going to do? Nothing. I'm going to sit and wait. And when I talk to you Friday, if I see the Bucs with 7, I'm going to bet the Bucs. And if I don't, I won't. I will sit and relax. Listen, dude, I am so on a serious level. I know you don't care because you walk in, you treat everybody like shit. You're feeling yourself today. I am thrilled for you and everyone. Like I'll admit it. I mean, everything about sports as I've gotten older, it really has to do with the people you care about or family or whatever it is. It's really not total strangers playing with a leather ball and making obscene money. Like, I thought about friends I have who were 13 years old the last time they saw their team play in a home playoff game. Like, that's crazy. You think about the people who aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and then they
flashed
that dude from Grosse Pointe who's like 100 years old and he was at the 57 game. Dude, I was moved. I'm like, you know, just please for these. Can we please? And then when it was 3rd and 4 at 37 and Stafford's driving to beat you, I'm like, come on, man. Don't do this to these people. Can we please? Well, please, can we not barf all over our sack? Can we just please for these people? And it happened.
Well, because that's the thing. Being at the game, you are aware of the stakes. And the fans came out. They showed out. It was loud. It was a party. But in that second half, in that fourth quarter, I'm pacing. Just back and forth.
Where were you pacing?
We had the Odyssey suite there. But I couldn't sit still. I'm pacing back and forth.
What a treat Jim was. 800 clients and a pacing Costa.
And I knew if they scored, the Lions would still get one chance to answer it, right? Either answer with a field goal or a touchdown based on what the Rams did. I wasn't like, oh, they're going to blow this, because at times this year they've bowed up when they've needed to. But it doesn't help any matters when you're in the moment. You're going, oh, it all comes down to this. And it was such a cool moment, the euphoria in the building when they get the stop, they get the first downs, plural. St. Brown catches it. And you could just feel.
Was it relief or joy?
It was a little of both.
Okay.
I mean, you start looking around and it's these grown men and everybody's welling up. And I know this sounds embarrassing to people who are fans of other teams. You got to understand, Detroit Lions fans have had nothing. I would say negative stuff.
If you were an adult in 1993, your parents or your aunts, uncles, grandparents
Passed away
they're all
probably.
dead.
Yeah.
Okay? You're welling up because those people aren't here. If you were a child,
You didn't ever see this. It's
if
never
you're
happened.
fortunate, your parents are still alive.
Right.
Okay? Maybe you had a shot there. Like, the only thing I can tell you is the only comp I have in my life was I waited almost 30 years for MSU to get to a Rose Bowl. 1987, I'll tell you a quick story
Yeah.
that should resonate with you and Lions fans. So 1987, I'm a little kid. I don't have a concept of what Michigan State is. But the people I used to tailgate with, my man Richie made a decision back then as a younger man. You know what? We're not gonna go. It's too expensive. We'll do it next time they're there. And by the time next time came around, it's 2013. It's 26 years later. Okay? It's not promised. And it's one of those things that people who made that decision in 87 not to go, a lot of them weren't around in 13. And that's the story of sports. So it does not escape me. I waited my whole life to see MSU get to the Rose Bowl. It was emotional, not because of a football game, but because my dad didn't get to go to college. So he lived it through me. And it was something where I'm like, look, dude, we make it. We're going.
Yeah.
I don't care what it costs. I'll donate a kidney. So to be able to go to that and be there with my dad and do it, that's what Lion fans got this weekend. And it means so much.
No, I know, but I just acknowledge the Rose Bowl is a pedestal. A playoff win for a lot of fan bases is kid shit.
Yeah, but screw them.
But that's my point is I'm not going to do this act like you've been there because, guys, Lions fans haven't. And you're right, Mike.
Well, and you're just mean.
Well, and in talking to people, just going to skip right over that. Because what I do want to acknowledge is in asking people how they're going to watch the game this week and just kind of canvassing Lions fans.
Yeah.
Some people went to the game. It was really expensive, and it was probably worth it for a lot of those fans. But most people couldn't go. And the stories I heard from people who said, I'm watching with my dad or I'm watching with my son.
That's right.
We've watched all this losing together for my life, my entire life.
That's what it's
about.
about.
And to share that moment with your dad or your mom or your uncle, whoever it is in your life, the immediate family that you have watched all that losing.
That's right.
And you probably told yourself you were never going to see it. I don't care if it's
couldn't agree more.
Opening round of the playoffs or the Rose Bowl or the Super Bowl. If it has meaning to you, if sports touch you in an emotional way, absolutely. You're human. You're
not
human.
Crying because your favorite players retired.
No.
Right? And dressed head to toe in Kobe gear. That's different.
But sports should be emotional.
Because of the things and the people we attach to it.
Yes.
So yes. You know what? It was awesome. It was just something I don't know. It's just you have a different vibe when you want it on behalf of others. I'm not going to sit there and tell you that it moves me. No, I only have an understanding of it because I've made my life here in Detroit and my career is here. And a lot of what I've done every day of every week of every year has been talk to those fans.
Yeah.
And deal with their anguish, their anger.
Kind of like a therapist at times.
So for them to get the result, I can just sit back and be happy for others. I know it's a rare thing. You struggle with it. I can just be happy for others. It was awesome.
I feel like I get painted in just a terrible light on this podcast.
Jim, we got to do a customer service survey of how you walked in the building today. Carry on.